All right, you guys. So TTV Network, like, share, and subscribe as y'all tap on in, man. As we got another banger for y'all, man. Salute to everybody that's been supporting the channel, man. If y'all haven't subscribed, subscribe. Cash App, PayPal, podcast show, website, free website membership, Twitter, and A Weapon's new album. The link is in the description box along with the weight loss formula. Y'all can see that all below. Let's get into this, man, as the allegations against President Donald J. Trump are continuing to come out surrounding this entire Epstein situation. And these ones that I'm going to read to you guys from this article is absolutely disgusting. And it's just sad if this is true, which, you know, Trump has downplayed his relationship with Epstein. But let's get into it. So it says a relationship between current President Donald Trump and the late Jeffrey Epstein, a financier and convicted sex offender, has been the subject of intense scrutiny, particularly due to allegations involving Epstein's criminal activities and Trump's social ties to him. One specific claim that has surfaced involves Epstein introducing Trump to a 14-year-old identified by the pseudonym Jane during the 1990s at Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort in Palm Beach, Florida. Now, going through this article, it explores the details of this allegation, the context of Trump and Epstein's relationship, and the broader implications while critically examining the available evidence. Now, Donald Trump and Epstein were known to have socialized in the 80s and 90s, a period when both were prominent figures in the New York and Palm Beach high society. Their friendship, which Trump described in 2002, a New York Magazine interview as spanning for 15 years, involved attending lavish parties, traveling on Epstein's private jet, and mingling at events at Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. Trump famously called Epstein a quote-unquote terrific guy who was quote-unquote a lot of fun to be with, and noted that Epstein liked quote-unquote beautiful women on the younger side, end quote. Photographs and videos from the era, including a 92 NBC clip showing Trump and Epstein laughing together at Mar-a-Lago, confirmed their association. Epstein was a frequent guest at the resort, though Trump's organization later claimed he was never a dues-paying member. The relationship reportedly soured around 2004 over a real estate dispute involving a Palm Beach property, Mason del Ilamite, and allegations that Epstein behaved inappropriately towards a member's daughter at Mar-a-Lago, leading to his ban from the club. Now, the specific claim that Trump met a 14-year-old girl through Epstein stems from testimony given during the 2021 trial of Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's associate, who was convicted of sex trafficking and conspiracy for procuring young girls for Epstein. A woman identified as Jane testified that Epstein took her to Mar-a-Lago in the late 90s when she was 14, where she was introduced to President Trump. According to a 2020 civil lawsuit filed by Jane against Epstein's estate during this meeting, Epstein reportedly said to Trump, "This is a good one, right? Question mark," end quote. To which Trump allegedly smiled and nodded, making Jane feel uncomfortable, though she was too young to fully understand the interaction. Jane's testimony, as reported by NBC News, did not allege any improper behavior by Donald Trump during this encounter, and no further details were provided about the purpose or context of the meeting. The incident was described as part of Epstein and Maxwell's broader scheme to groom and exploit vulnerable younger girls, with Trump's name used to impress Jane with Epstein's powerful connections. Jane, who met Epstein at Interlochen, a music camp in Michigan where he preyed on minors, was reportedly targeted due to her family's financial struggle and recent loss of her father, making her particularly susceptible to Epstein's manipulation. While Jane's account does not accuse Trump of direct misconduct in this instance, other allegations have linked Trump to Epstein's orbit. For example, Virginia Giuffre, another Epstein victim, claimed she was recruited at Mar-a-Lago at age 16 while working as a spa attendant. Giuffre's allegations focus on Epstein and Maxwell, not Trump. But the proximity of their activities to Trump's property has fueled speculation. Additionally, a former model, Stacey Williams, alleged in 2024 that Epstein took her to Trump Tower in '93, where Trump groped her, and which she described as a quote-unquote twisted game between two men. Trump campaign denied these claims, calling them unequivocally false. These accounts are set against a backdrop of documented interactions between Trump and Epstein. Flight logs show Trump took at least 7 trips on Epstein's private plane in the 90s, though he denied visiting Epstein's private plane or private island or engaging in illegal activity. A 2003 birthday letter, allegedly from Trump to Epstein, contained a lewd drawing and suggestive language, though Trump, ladies and gentlemen, denied its authenticity and sued the Wall Street Journal for reporting it, but he did not sue that girl for saying that, you know what I'm saying, he groped her. I don't see where he sued that girl. I'm just saying, maybe he did. If he did, y'all show it to me. I looked it up. I haven't seen anywhere where it says he sued that girl for saying that she groped him. I mean, those are serious allegations. Now, or that lady, I should say. But let's get to this. So Trump has consistently distanced himself from Epstein since his 2008 conviction and 2019 arrest for sex trafficking. In 2019, Trump stated he was not a fan of Epstein and had not spoken to him in 15 years, citing their fallout. He also claimed to have banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago after an incident involving a member's teenage daughter, though some reports suggest the rift was primarily over the property dispute. The allegations have sparked significant controversy, particularly among Trump's supporters, who have pushed for the release of the Epstein-related files, believing they might expose a broader network of powerful individuals. In 2025, Trump's administration faced backlash when Justice Department under Attorney General Pam Bondi concluded there was no client list and no new evidence warranting further disclosures. Disappointing those expecting bombshell revelations, Trump has dismissed ongoing interest in the Epstein case. He has dismissed that. Yeah, so Trump dismissed the ongoing interest in the Epstein case as a quote-unquote Democratic hoax and urged supporters to focus on other priorities. The evidence surrounding the alleged meeting with Jane is limited to her testimony and the subsequent civil lawsuit, with no corroborating accounts or specific accusations of wrongdoing by Trump in that instance. The lack of detail about the meeting's context, such as what was discussed or why Jane was brought to Mar-a-Lago, complicates efforts to assess its significance, while Jane's broader testimony about Epstein's abuse is consistent with other victims' accounts. The reference to Trump appears incidental, used to illustrate Epstein's tactic of leveraging high-profile connections to manipulate his targets. The broader narrative of Trump and Epstein's relationship, however, raises questions about judgment and associations. Trump's own words in 2002 praising Epstein and alluding to his preference for younger women have been criticized as tone-deaf at best, given Epstein's later convictions. The repeated appearances of Epstein at Mar-a-Lago, coupled with allegations of recruitment and misconduct linked to the resort, suggest a permissive environment, though no evidence directly implicates Trump in Epstein's crimes. Skeptics might argue that the focus on Trump's lies to Epstein is politically ties to Epstein is politically motivated, especially given the lack of concrete evidence of his involvement in Epstein's illegal activities. Conversely, critics point to the pattern of allegations in Trump's long association with Epstein as cause for concern, particularly in light of Epstein's documented exploitation of minors. The truth likely lies in a gray area. Trump and Epstein moved in the same elite circles where questionable behavior was often overlooked until it became impossible to ignore. The claim that Donald Trump met a 14-year-old girl through Jeffrey Epstein is rooted in credible testimony from Maxwell's trial and related lawsuit, but it lacks specifics and does not accuse Trump of direct misconduct in that instance. The broader context of Trump's friendship with Epstein, documented through photos, videos, and flight logs, underscores a relationship that has drawn legitimate scrutiny, particularly given Epstein's heinous crimes. However, without new evidence, the allegations remain a part of a complex and often speculative narrative. As public interest in the Epstein case persists, the Trump administration's handling of the related files continues to fuel debate, leaving many questions unanswered about the intersections of power, privilege, and accountability. Hey, I really appreciate you guys for supporting the channel, supporting the network. Like, share, and subscribe. Once again, there are links. Get the free membership on our website. That way you guys won't miss any of our news update stories or videos. They're all on the website, ticketvmedia.com. You go over there, you can go right to the members part and become a free member. That way you guys will get all the updates. Also, straight drop weight loss formula. Make sure y'all go tap in and copy some of that, as well as subscribing to our podcast show. Link will be pinned at the top of the chat down there below. And also, we just appreciate all y'all who support the channel. Cash App, PayPal.